Let's get started. First of all, thank you for joining in. Welcome. Those of you who are not sure about this call, so we do have this monthly call, and we prefer to have this call by end of the month, so people have time to join. And in this call, we typically talk about all the new changes, improvements, fixes that we rolled out during the month, and we also talk about some of the upcoming changes as well. All right. So we are recording this. So we will certainly be sending it to you, but to also to them who were not able to make it. All right. If you guys have any questions, I do have my colleague over on the call. So feel free to leave your questions in the chat and then we'll address it accordingly. All right, so let's just first talk about the. I'm gonna actually. So we had two releases in April, one at the start of the month, and the second just couple of days back. So one of the feature that we introduced this month was allowing you guys to create new templates that you can now send it to your client as well. So let me actually open up the templates, email templates. So previously there were only these two templates that were only available. I mean, you did not have a way to create any new template that you can send it to the client. So this is mainly like, let's just say, if you needed to send a general email to your client, you can create a new template. Let's just say you are onboarding a new client and you have set like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps that you want to send it to your client. Now you can create a new email template, and then what you can do is that, like, on new, there's an option to notify client where you can choose that particular template and then you can send it from there. So that's a new feature that we have added. So here on left, you'll find those new templates and you should be able to use that template and send it to your client. So that was a new addition that we have done. Second thing that we have changed was the dashboard image. Just gonna show you what I'm talking about. So if I go to settings, there is custom branding. And then here, okay, client dashboard. So this image that you see, previously it was not editable. I mean, like it was a default image that was showing up. But now, let's just say if you wanted to put some of the, like, let's just say you wanted to put a banner with your logo or with your firm name or whatever information that you like, you can now change it. So all you have to do here, there is a change cover image and you can just upload it there. So that's like a small improvement that we have done. All right. The third thing is, and this change is mainly on the client's end. So uh, previously, the client users were not able to, let's just say when they respond to any questions, there wasn't way for them to change anything afterwards. So we just made that available. So now if client responded any questions, if they want to go back and change the responses or update the responses, they'll be able to do it now. So that was again a small change that we had introduced. All right, so now let me just talk about some of the changes that we have just rolled out this Monday. All right, so one of the change that we rolled out was on to do and close. So previously, like if you needed to, let's just say, import a template, you first of all need to go to a particular client, and then you have to, in that particular client, you have to import the template. But now, while you are at the template level, let's just say I'm at this template, we have added this feature called add to client file. So I can now use this template and apply to multiple clients on one go. So let's just say I click here, add to client file, right? Another thing that, see, by default, it's gonna select all the to-dos from the template, But let's just say if you just want some specific ones, like let's just say I don't want this for bank accounts, I don't want this for this folder, you can even exclude that accordingly, and then you can click on next. Okay, here in this form, like in like there's only one client added, but imagine if you had multiple clients, you're gonna find all of your clients here, and then you can select and decide which one you want, and then accordingly, all you have to do just simply click here and then assign the template. All right. Now, at this point, also, if you want to define like, hey, for this client, I want to set this person as preparer, this person as reviewer, you can do all of it. All you simply then do, click on import. So whatever number of clients that you have selected, that particular template will then be applied to all the clients, right? So that is a new addition that we have done with the template. Um, some of you requested where the profit and loss, we just, I mean, small thing, but I thought it would help. Like the negative numbers will now show up in red. So just in case, let's just say if something is unusual that might just catch your attention, and then you can see like why it's negative, and you can then take appropriate action. So that's another change. Um, we also made some improvements with the to-do design. I mean, the create to-do design. We just made the form compact. There isn't such like we haven't really added any feature here. It's just like the design itself is now little compact. So same thing like task name. This is a client name, folder name, assignee, due date, tag. It's like just a small form. So that is something that we have made the change here. All right, so now the major change that we have rolled out, I'm gonna talk about that, which is about the cleanup mode. I did record a detailed video explaining what we are changing, why we are changing, and why it is important to make those changes. So I'm just gonna quickly touch base on that. So previously, those of you who were already using Xenett before know that there is cleanup mode used to be a separate module. It used to have its independent settings, and close. I mean, the close to dos, obviously it was independent, and there's a lot of, I would say, confusion causing around in between it, because sometimes, let's just say, you don't want a review point, then you have to go to cleanup mode, you have to disable it there, then you have to come to the close mode, you have to delete the corresponding close to do. So now it's gonna be very simple thing. So this is what's gonna happen. So on settings, there's a template here. This is template, and that will drive everything. Previously, we used to have a cleanup mode settings here where you had to define that, hey, I want these 10 review points, and then you have to come to close. You have to again define it here. So now there isn't anything like that. All you simply have to do, there is a close template here. And in this close template, the review point is also a part of it. All right. So now let's just say whenever you click on add, you now see like this is the, so this is, by the way, this form is also updated. So this is your normal close to do. Like you select the folder, you select the, you type in the task name, you decide whether you want preparer, reviewer, how frequently you want this. So that's like a recurrence. So that's like your normal close to do. Now, when I say normal close to do, let's just imagine you have a task like record depreciation entry, or let's just say you have a task like recording prepared entries. So these tasks are like just simply a task. I mean, there isn't anything, there aren't any transactions to review as such, right? So those tasks you will simply create it here. Let's just say you wanted to add a review point now. You just click here, review point. Everything will be same. It's just that now in this drop down, you will see all the review points. Like these are all the Xenett's default review points. So if you have to pick any existing one, let's just say you wanted to view the transactions more than $10,000, you just select it and it will be added now. So basically, this is where you will be able to select the review points from Xenett's default library. If you still want to create something by your own, you can always click here, custom review point. You can start building your template, and then you should be able to save it from here. So let me give you an example how you can do that. So let's just say for at my template level, I want to have a review point where any transactions in fixed assets less than $2,000, I want to add it as a part of my template. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to click here on a custom review point, and then I want that review point as a part of fixed assets folder. Then I'm going to start adding the criteria. So here is what I'm going to say. I want to select my GL to be fixed assets. All right. And then I'm just going to say all accounts. Further, I'm going to say the line amount should be less than $2,000. So this is a template that I'm creating it. And then I'm going to click on save. I'm just going to say fixed assets less than 2K. Right here, I would define whether I want a preparer for this review point or not, whether I want reviewer for this review point or not. Yes, I want this review point every close period, so this will be default selected. If I want to add some more description to explain someone in detail, I can type in here. If I want to add some checklist, then I can type in here, and then I would just create it here, right? So this is how simple it's gonna be. Like everything is a close to do now. Your review points is also a close to do now, which will then need to be signed off. So now what's gonna happen is that every single client that you get into, you will not see the cleanup mode as an independent module. Instead, what we have done is that all of your cleanup mode review points have become a closed to do now. So those review points that you will see it here, like for example, your transactional fixes. So you have uncategorized entries, you have account, entries posted to parent, you have account. So all of your review points have now become closed to dos. Okay. So everything is driven through close. Also, one of the things that it has simplified is that now all of this, because these are to-dos now, this will need to be signed off. I mean, previously it was more like an optional process, like cleanup mode, like those of you who were using cleanup mode, I mean, some cleanup mode review points had sign off, some cleanup mode review points did not have sign off. So that was also creating confusion, but now it's like a pretty smooth. All of your review points will have a sign off process here. Now, to give you guys the same experience as previous cleanup mode, all we did was we just created a similar view, which is a review point. This is nothing but your closed tools only. It's just the view. We just wanted to follow it. I mean, we just wanted to keep it so that way it's easier for you guys to follow it. What has changed also is your foldering, right? So this cleanup mode has its own independent folders, but now because these are nothing but the closed to dos, these folders are also the same as this close, I mean, this close view itself, right? Because from here itself, we are displaying closed to dos in this separate window. All right. So you guys still get the same experience if you want to come here and just quickly go through all of your review points one by one. You can do that. Additionally, we have added this quick filter. So like now, if you wanted to see all the review points, you just click on all, and now you will be able to see all of them. This is the separate one that only gives you list of the pending ones that are yet to be signed off. So now you have a visibility as to what are the ones that are not done yet. And same way, if there are any one that are already signed off, let's just say we kind of sign off here, right? So now you also have a specific view that gives you list of all the review points that are signed up. So this is more of a filter that we have introduced here. All right. So that's that. One more thing. So the previous cleanup mode module had a feature where you can apply a custom date range. You can also do it here. So just simply click here, select custom date range. It works exactly the same way. Just select January or December, click on apply, and that's it. It just gonna pull up the data for Jan to December. So let's just say you guys wanted to do a cleanup project for the whole long period, you still have that option here as well, right? So fundamentally, I mean, for you guys, if I just simplify it, the location, like the placement of cleanup mode has changed. Like it just moved as a separate icon, it just moved here. But in the backend, we know, I mean, it has actually simplified a lot more things. I mean, obviously, from the architecture perspective, the experience perspective, it has actually changed a lot. So I'm pretty sure, I mean, uh, you guys may take some time to I would say digest this, but I can tell you this is gonna be much more smoother for all of your clients as well. All right. So that's major change that we had rolled out. All right, and with that, the reports has like we just, I mean, previously all the reports were showing up at the top, so we just kind of introduced this new left panel here where you can now see profit and loss. So it's again not a major change, more like a navigation panel that we have introduced here. So our plan is to, because we also plan to add some more reports here, and we don't want to keep adding tabs here because it would just not look good. So that was also one more reason why we had to introduce this left panel, so we can actually add more reports as well, right? In fact, one of the things that we are planning to do is, if you wanted to, let's just say, make some changes with the columns, create your own view for profit and loss, you can also create it and save it as well. So again, the whole point was that we needed some more space, so I think this left navigation panel would make more sense. All right, so these were the major changes that we had rolled out in April. I'm also going to quickly touch base on this close to do design as well. It is exactly the same as template. Okay, now, okay, let me touch base on this. The custom review point. Okay, so previously we had a separate option here to add a custom review point. Then that custom review point used to get added to the cleanup mode. Then you had to come to the close, then you have to link it, right? So now, because the review point does not exist independently, it's a close to do. So what's going to happen? You just come here, close to do. You just say review point and say custom review point. You start building your parameters. Let's just say I wanted to find out the bills without attachment. I'm just gonna say no. Okay, this is where I have saved my criterias. And then I'm gonna give a name. I'm gonna say bills without attachment. And then I just need to define in which folder I want it, right? So let's just say I'm gonna say transactional fixes. Do I need reviewer? Yes. Do I need preparer and reviewer? Yes. So all this information you can type in, just create it, right? So now it's very simple. When you go to close, when you go to uncategorize, sorry, transactional fixes, you're gonna find it here, bills without attachment. So this is how you will be adding the custom review points moving forward. So that was just a little change that we have done here. All right, guys, these were the major updates that we had rolled out in the April. Couple of small things I just found it from my notes is this more like collapse all checklist. So previously, the checklist, there wasn't a way for you guys to expand collapse it. So now let's just say you want to see your task in collapse way. You just simply do that, like go to more, just say collapse all checklist. So now you only look at your close to this. All right. So that is one thing that we have added. And then hide sign off option, it used to show up here, but then we just moved it under here. And then with this filters, we added one more, like let's just say, because this right now, these are all the to dos. If you only want to see the review points out of this, let's just say all of your to dos, all you have to do, just say review points, and now you'll only be, this will only show you the review points only, right? So it's more like a filter that we have added here. All right, I'm just gonna quickly look at the chat and then see if there are any questions as such. And guys, I'm just gonna mm, uh change the settings where just in case if you wanted to unmute yourself, I'm just finding that settings. If you wanted to unmute yourself and ask any question, feel free. Ritesh, are there any questions? I'm actually just like while I'm finding this, are there any questions that yes, Kim, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I think I found it. So, Kim, if you want to unmute yourself and ask, feel free. I think
Okay,
you should be able to. Okay,
okay, thank you so much for unmuting me. Okay,
yeah.
on the review point, um, we can select an entire year. Like for reconstruction, we're bringing in a new client with a massive reconstruction. But I also want to be able to close that. So in other words, I'm doing all of 2023. Once I've done the review points for 2023, how can I turn around and close that entire year without having to go month by month?
Start the close. Here is what you could do. Under the close, do you see the start custom close? So you
Hmm.
do that, start custom close. You could say that, hey, I want Jan to December. So what this does is
Okay.
that it's going to create a new close for Jan to December. So this is one way where you can actually start the custom close. Here you can have your, I mean, let's just say if you have your separate template for cleanup, separate template for close, you can decide which one you want. For now, I'm just going to use this one, import template, and just going to say, are they, and then save it, right? So what this is going to do, it will now import all my task in this particular clause. So either again, you can come here and kind of do one by one, but if you prefer to work in this view, you can also do that. So it's the same thing, Jan to December, right? So you can just follow it that way. Does that
Okay.
answer you?
Yes. And then I have one other question. Is there a way to find hidden transactions? For example, let's say on the chart of accounts there was a balance, but it was made inactive. Is there a way for us to be able to do that in Xenett without me having to go back into QuickBooks and mess around in the chart of accounts and try and find why the balance sheet is off?
Okay, so that's just trying to. I have not used it QuickBooks for a while, but would QuickBooks allow you to make the accounts inactive if at all it has any balance?
I can remake it. Yes, it can make it inactive, but you can
Okay.
make it reactive. For example, the client that I'm doing the reconstruction for,
Mm-hmm.
she made inactive 3 bank accounts that had
Mm-hmm.
balances. And when we did our vetting, we didn't see those bank accounts because they were inactive.
Okay, so I
And
see.
I just need to find a way that I'm able to
Mm.
find. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes. So, okay, I got it. So you basically wanted to first of all find out all the inactive accounts, and then out of those inactive accounts, which one has some balances in there, right? So right
Correct.
now there isn't a way, but I think it's a good suggestions. I'm kind of gonna work on that. So, Ritesh, if you can just make a note of it, I mean, we can certainly plan around it. So that's a good suggestion, Kim. So
Sorry, Ritesh. I'm sorry to keep adding things on you.
no problem.
I'm very excited about this, although it did take my entire that client and it made it completely empty, so I have to start over.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
So Carissa, I mean, while you're on the call, you just click on your name, themes. You have all the options, dark mode, I mean, whatever color that you like, you can make all those changes, right? So that's like a theme that you can choose. All right. Just gonna quickly go through the chat. It doesn't seem like there are as such any questions. So guys, I have allowed you guys in case if you wanted to unmute yourself, ask any questions. Yes, Erica, please go ahead. Either
I
you,
think
I
I
mean,
unmuted myself. Okay, so right now, for my end of month process, I'm using Content Snare to, the reason I like Content Snare for part of my end of the month process is it allows me to send one email that says, we have questions for you. And then automatically, if they haven't closed it out in, say 2 weeks before it's due, then we get they get another email. It's approaching the deadline. We need you to, answer these questions. And then the day it's due, it's like, today it's due. And then another one, it's past due. Is there a way, or could there be a way where we schedule these emails in Xenett? Because I feel like my clients are getting overwhelmed with the amount of tech, but I also don't have time to babysit them. So I like how Content Snare helps me babysit them. So is that an option or a potential option for Xenett?
Yes. So have you checked out our client portal? Are you using it or not?
So I use the client portal. I use the transactional questions. I use the non-transactional questions. Right now, the reason I have it split, whereas in Content Snare, if they have statements to upload, I'm having them upload them there. And the only reason I'm still doing that versus having them do it in Xenett is I need a reason to use Content Snare so they get the babysitting emails. But it's funny because I was just in a meeting with an employee earlier, and I was like, what do you think about getting rid of Content Snare? Like, how would that change our process? And we've decided the only thing it really changes is these emails.
Okay, so we do have this option. I'm not sure if this will help you or not. So if you are in any particular client, when you click on settings, so right now, let's just say we are in SRH Titan, that this is my client. Under client portal, it says set up auto reminders, where you could say that, hey, I want to send a reminder email to my client every week, Tuesday or Thursday or Friday, however you like. You can set the times and all of it. So what this does is that if there are any questions open, like waiting on client, then and then it's going to send a reminder email that, hey, I still need feedback on this 5 questions. So they can just start responding. So I'm not sure if this is what exactly the content snare does for you.
So I use this in Xenett. I'm already using that. The only thing that if I could make a suggestion and something that could
Please.
possibly be something, I would like to set a due date. I need this information by this date, because when it doesn't, when it's not urgent to them, they just kind of keep putting it off. And then also a series of emails. So I like this one, but like one that says, like, that we can hit send on the 1st, and it said, or whatever date, 1st or 2nd, and it says, hey, we have questions, please go over. And then 4 days later, hey, hello, get back over there.
I think I got
urgent, like, so different emails, so that it doesn't seem like it's just the templated, same one. So that would just be my suggestion, because then I could get rid of Content Snare.
Okay, perfect. One last question I have it for you is that, would you have a due date for individual question as such, or like how would you define your due date?
So because some of my clients, we need statements from. Some of my clients, we need them to go to, say, HubDoc and go through their job costing, upload all their job costing receipts and stuff like that. We try to get reports to them by the middle of the month, which means we need their information, by I like to get their information by the 7th or the 10th.
I see.
We do have where some of our clients that we're coding transactions weekly. But some of them, it's basically we get everything done towards the beginning of the following month. And so we just need all these questions answered.
Got it. Okay, perfect. I think fundamentally I got it, like what you're looking for, and it also makes sense to me. What I want to do, I mean, I'll take it to our brainstorming session. I hope you don't mind reaching out to you just in case if we have some more questions.
Sure. Yeah, no problem at all. I appreciate that.
No, yeah, thank you, Erica. Yeah. Yes, Mike. So, I mean, you already got the responses. So, yes, because review point itself does not exist independently. It's a closed to do only. So, yes, I mean, it will always be the closed to do. So, All right, guys. So just wanted to quickly touch base. Did anyone have any question or speaking anything or?
Uh, Um, I do know something. Today, Amy was trying to, under templates, make a change, and she couldn't click profit and loss, whereas before the profit and loss was available, now it's like grayed out.
Uh-huh.
Can you and I talk about that afterwards, or you and Amy touch base so
Sure.
we can figure
I
out what's going on?
absolutely. I did actually
Okay.
receive an email from Amy. I have yet to respond to her directly. So, I mean, respond to her. So let me have a look at it and I'll certainly get that addressed. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So I'm also gonna touch base on some of the things that we will be rolling out. One of the feature that some of you have requested was that, especially with the uncategorized transactions, or basically it's about auto publishing questions to the client portal directly. So it's like the moment, let's just say I put any transactions to uncategorize, there is an option where it automatically starts getting published on client portal. Because the way some of our customers work is that they have two accounts as uncategorized. One is they use it for internal, and second is what they use it for, like when they need to get feedback from client. So this is an option that we will be rolling out where you can decide that, hey, anytime transactions are posted as uncategorized, you can decide to auto publish it on the client portal. Because that way you don't have to go to uncategorized transactions and then select them and then click and then publish it. So it's like that way, hopefully it's gonna save some time. So that's one of the feature that we'll be rolling out. One of the other thing that we'll be rolling out is that with the close, we are actually adding a column for working files. So see, right now, let's just say for any of the task, you want to attach something, you have to put it as a part of comment. But we are actually adding a new column called working file. So let's just say there is a task for prepared and you wanted to attach your prepared schedule, you should be able to do that. Let's just say there is a task for depreciation or some loan statements. If you wanted to attach some working files, you should be able to do that, right? So that's like a new column that we will be adding it here. All right. And then one of the other thing that we are working on is like more of an interactive financials. So see, right now, these reports that you see are more designed for you guys to view it internally. There isn't a way for you guys to publish these reports on clients portal, or there is no way for you guys to ask any questions from here, and then your clients cannot really see anything of this, right? So one of the things that we plan to do is more of interactive financials where you can decide to publish these financials on client portal. Your client can also view it. Your client can drill down. Your client can ask questions on to you. You can ask questions. So it's there is no, because obviously there will be an option to create the fancy PDF and you can publish it on client portal. But sometimes with the PDF or Excel, asking questions results into a lot more back and forth emails, right? But with this profit and loss and balance sheet, we will allow client users to ask questions on the portal itself. So that way it just avoids unnecessary emails and you can also keep track of it. So that's the whole altogether a new reporting module is what we are working on. So hopefully it's going to take some time, somewhere in June or early July, right? So that's that. We are also side by side working on the client mobile app. So that's already under development. We expect to roll it out somewhere in June. So that way client can download the app and they can respond it from there itself. So it's like all like right now it's also mobile responsive. So they click on it and they can open it as a web. But then in this case, if they want to download the app, separate app, they can do it as well. So that's another thing that we are working on it. And those we do have a lot of requests from a lot of you also about 1099. I know we kind of been thinking on it for a while, like you guys wanted something around 1099. So that's also another thing that we finally decided to work on that as well. So uh, it's not a super priority right now because we do have some time for January. So we'll try to wrap it up around somewhere in Q3. So that way, at least you guys have one full quarter to work on that. So that's how we are looking at it. So that's like a major ones that I wanted to touch base on. All right. Any other questions? And one more thing, would you guys see right now we have this monthly call where we just talk about the new updates. We don't have like more like a refresher training, but this is something we were thinking about it to have a like 1 hour training every month where it's more like a refresher training so that just in case if you guys have new people you want to, I mean we used to have it, but then we changed the model and we just kind of started talking about the new updates. But we are thinking because that way if you guys have new people, new joinee, you can actually guys join in there as well. So that's another thing that we plan to start starting next month. So all right, looks like we are all good. Let me know, I mean, if there's anything, otherwise we should be good to go. I'm gonna share this recording tomorrow with all of you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, guys, thank you and take care. Bye bye.